Today is Sunday, December the 6th, and I just want to do a quick video because I see some opportunity. And you know, if you've been listening to CNBC and watching the headlines, you've got an equal number of bulls and bears, but they're all talking about either a short-term pullback. Um, Nobody's really talking about a long-term pullback. The bears are talking about a short-term pullback, but I think everybody is bullish going into the third quarter of next year. But what we see in the McClellan is that we've moved up to the overbought area. So now let's look at the charts. We see the Dow Jones making a new high, the NASDAQ making a new high, the S&P 500 making a new high and a breakout from this bull pennant. The volatility index right down at the low level where there doesn't seem to be, any kind of concern. Apple, and I sold some January 115 puts, and this is a stock that I think is going to benefit from the Christmas season. They have got a new product coming out. We don't know what it is in the next couple of weeks. But if it's priced under $100, they're going to sell 1 billion of them. I personally have an Apple mini HomePod on order, and it's 4 weeks back ordered. The watch is selling well. The iPhone 12 Pro is selling extremely well. And look at the chart. We've had this test of the cloud and then this pullback. We might have another test on Monday, but the stock, frankly, is going higher. The Chiku span could actually go down to the 50 here and then still provide support. So I'm pretty confident about that stock. NIO, we still look at NIO based on the previous day's Fibonacci's, and look at that. This is a day traded stock. We had a gap down to where the negative 161.8%. Then we went down to 200%. Then we came up and we just finished the day at the 161.8%. This is a purely day traded stock, and if you're long on this stock, stay long on it because we have pullbacks in this stock and then we have moves up. And we've had the pullback, and I do believe we're in the phase of a move up. But remember, I always cover my NIO stock with some short calls. Sometimes it's out of the money calls, sometimes it's at the money calls. I bought at 55 and I've had at the money calls, and I just keep rolling them for more premium, lowering my cost. Caterpillar, huge increase. There is talk about an infrastructure program coming under Biden. He's appointed a czar or somebody who's going to advise him on infrastructure. Now, if he can get it past the Republican Senate, who don't want to spend money, that remains to be seen. Home Depot continues to move lower, as we said that it would. Once it had resistance on the cloud, it's moved down now below, and the 50 has crossed below the 200. That is a bit no, the 200's down here. But we've got a dropping 50, and we've got a rendezvous, I would think, down at the 200 moving average. So let's create an alert there, and let's say when the 200 crosses the price crosses the 200 EMA, we're going to look for that as a possible opportunity to buy. AT&T, with its great dividend, continues to outperform. The 50 is moving up. Its stochastics are, overbought. But this is the side that says there's going to be a pullback, that's investing into big dividend stocks. The banks continue to do well. Here's JP Morgan, definitely in an upward trend, now going towards 128.36. Here's the sixth largest bank, US Bank, which also continues to move up. Now let's look at some of our new ones. We're going to look at a stock that Zach likes, which is BBY. Now, he said in the chat that he's a fan of BBY. I'm not sure that I would be at this point because the 200 is attractive here. The bottom of the cloud for the Chiku span is attractive. If I was getting into Best Buy based on the Christmas season, I might wait for a bit more of a pullback, but you do have both of the stochastics, the long-term stochastic still coming down. The short term, the fast-moving stochastic shows it's at the bottom and should be moving up, but that's only going to be until it completes the longer stochastic, the slower moving stochastic that's still got a little bit more room to go down. But let's just take a look at the volume, and you've got now 3 days of negative volume, but one of those days was over the 20-day moving average. And if you look back over the month, over to the end of November, you've got all these days of sellers. So I wouldn't be so quick to move into that stock. Square is still moving in this pennant. If it breaks out, it's a buy. CVS is a stock that is now broken out over the gap, and I said that 71.27 would be a place to buy. I think that I'm going to buy some calls, maybe a call spread, but I'm going to look at the situation on Monday. I think that the market, I just took a look at it briefly, it was only up 1 in the futures as we're heading into Monday morning. But look at this, we are now closed above this previous high. But this is a Gartley pattern, and this is a stock that loves Gartley patterns. Look at this Gartley pattern, followed by an ABC, followed by a new Gartley pattern, which indicates that we should be going up to 80. So CVS, that's another ZAC stock, that should be going up to a buy. Sono has broken out and is now channeling. So look for this stock, now that it's broken out, look for this stock to move higher. That could be a buy as well. Now, Boeing has run into the 50%. I was looking at Boeing and I was saying something is strange here. We've hit this 50%, but we've fallen here. This is a lower than this low. Let's see if we can't find a pattern in there. So I went with Motive Waves Auto Harmonic and drew that, and sure enough found this shark pattern here. You remember we talked about a shark pattern in one of our other stocks earlier, Caterpillar, that hit the shark pattern. Don't like shark patterns, don't see them all that often, but here's one. If we take this and we move it right to this point here, it looks like the shark pattern came in between these two targets, and now we're moving up. And if we try to draw an ABC, we might have one here. So keep a look at Boeing. It's hit the 50% Fibonacci and pulled back. The place to buy this one would be a break over the 50. But I would also do a little bit of research and see if this is an ABC pattern, and if that would be leading to another Gartley, and this should be a bullish Gartley that should go higher. That's pretty much all for today. The McClellan tells us overbought. S&P, NDX, Dow Jones, all making new highs. Remember that Tesla is going to be incorporated in the S&P in a couple of weeks, and that's going to throw a grenade into the chicken coop, and you want to be careful. So I'm always cautious. I still have NEO with my short calls. I invested into Apple with the short puts, and on Monday I think I'm going to go into CVS and might look for one other stock that I think is good for the long term, and I'm going to try to find the stock that I can buy that's maybe oversold, and I'll let you know on Monday if that pops up.